to the agenda. We are right now at the welcome stage. The next thing will be Thomas showing us little insights about Solarity, the company as a whole. And then we will have our presenter, Kieran, here. There are the two guys. Kieran, who will give you more insights about the Canadian solar panels. So after that, we will wrap all this up with a Q&A session, and then we'll see. So Thomas is the Senior Sales Manager of Solarity, and he will start now. Thomas, thank you for your time. Please take over the stage, and much success.
Thank you very much. And thank you for co-hosting this webinar with us. And as was just mentioned, I'm the Sales Director for Solarity, and I will give you a short overview of Solarity and the service we are providing and who we are on the market. It will be pretty brief, so just a few minutes. First of all, we can just explain where did Solarity came from. Solarity started as an EPC in Czech Republic, 2009. As on some markets at this time, before the PV was really developed and the regulation was developed everywhere, the markets changed a lot. So due to that, we decided to move over from the EPC business to the distribution business, and primarily outside of Czech Republic, actually. And today we see ourselves as a recognized international distributor, and we believe that the fact that we're coming from the industry ourselves makes it easier for us to understand our customer. So who we are the link between the manufacturers, like Canadian. We have a long relationship with them, and we are the link between the manufacturers and you as an installer, where we can manage everything from pallets to containers and above. If we look at what we try also to differentiate ourselves compared to more than just a trader, we think that to be able to have an added value, we have established a good technical team that is multinational, that have the opportunity to help you with designs, projects, benchmarks. We also have technical blogs. That was mentioned, we have the newsletters, but our blogs is quite appreciated, and I recommend you to follow them. We also offer financial services, so we have third parties, service providers, where we try to establish the possibility for you, especially in bigger projects, to have cash flow neutral projects, which I know can be an issue sometimes. We also have a developed partner program where, because we believe that we would like to have customers more than one time, so we have a partner program with different levels, different type of benefits, more access and more availability, and also more attractive price levels for our partners. And also being international is nice, but for you as customers, it's important also to be able to serve you where you are. So therefore, we have local support. We are around 10 nationalities in Solarity, all around EMEA, and we speak 15-20 languages, and we are able to have that help for you also in your local mother tongue. Another thing that is very important for us, that we arranged a little bit like this webinar now, but also we do technical trainings. We do technical training together with manufacturers, and we train around 1,000 professionals a year all around in different countries. And another differentiation we try also to focus a lot on is our logistics. So we have the opportunity to combine different type of logistic solutions, and we are also able to deliver the goods directly to installation site for your convenience. If you take the size of Solarity, so the last 12 months we delivered around 150 megawatt. We are active in 30 countries, and as I mentioned earlier, we are 10 nationalities, and we are we are growing quite rapidly. And today we have six different entities primarily in Middle East, Africa, and in Europe. So how do we choose a product? Why did we choose Canadian, or why did we have a partnership? Canadian was actually one of the first products we started as a distributor with. So, and generally we focus on products that we see are recognized from the market, so they are easy to sell. Also, we are looking at how easy is it to install. So for you as an installer, that you don't have a big hassle with that. And also we look at proven performance. You can see, if you would have followed our product range, you can see we don't change brands very often, and we are keeping our brands, and we are loyal to both our manufacturers and to our customers. So as you can see, it's tier 1 brands all over, and this is our primarily product portfolio. When we look at the product groups that we are providing, of course, we are trying to cover all needs, but also we try to add in new product ranges like energy storage solutions and EV charging, etc. And today it starts also to be very important that you have products that it's compatible with the rest of your system, so we have the opportunity to help you there. For the projects, we also do the same. Of course, we offer all the products available for your projects. Interesting for you who are EPCs and doing projects is that actually 40% of our sales is projects, and it's an important part of our business. So, and here we also, as I said earlier, we are working with financial possibilities and so on. It's a big, it's an important part of our business. So thank you very much for that, and I wouldn't bore you with more details. So let's go into the technical details, and I hand over to Kieran for that.
Thank you very much, Thomas. Good morning, everybody. My name is Kieran. I'm Canadian Solar's global trainer. My typical day job pre-pandemic times was to travel the region and meet up with our customers directly to go through these type of training sessions in a face-to-face and classroom environment. Unfortunately, due to the current circumstances, we are, we find ourselves in extraordinary times, hence the reason that we are now doing these sort of product introductions and launches over internet. Hopefully next year when things change, we'll be back to business as usual. So firstly, Canadian Solar, our mission is to lead solar into every household to create a better and cleaner earth for future generations. Some company facts. Canadian Solar have successfully delivered over 46 gigawatts of premium quality solar modules in over 160 countries around the world. To put that into perspective for you, the average nuclear power station ranges anywhere from 400 megawatts to approximately 2.7 gigawatts. So if we put those sizes into consideration, Canadian Solar has been responsible for installation of energy appropriate to between 96 and 115 nuclear power stations. So this is in clean, green, renewable energy. We have a true global reach. We have a direct presence in 26 countries. We manufacture in 15 factories located in 6 countries around the world. These include Canada, Brazil, China, Thailand, Vietnam, and Taiwan. Our wafers, cells, and modules combine superior quality with market-leading cost structures, and our projects consistently achieve the highest production values and return on investments for our investors. We currently have a total project pipeline of some 15.1 gigawatts, and traditionally customers choose Canadian Solar because we deliver the best-in-class possible value. The company was founded in 2001 in Ontario. We have over 13,000 employees globally. and we are a top 3 solar manufacturer by revenue and net income. For example, last year, 2019, our revenue was $3.2 billion, and our projected revenue guidance for 2020 is between $3.4 and $3.9 billion. From a Europe, Middle East and Africa perspective, we are headquartered in Munich. We have 5 offices in the region and deliver modules to our customers from 4 warehouses. We have over 80 employees who speak with 30 nationalities, and we speak many, many languages. Canadian Solar EMEA team realized shipments last year to over 60 countries in the region. We're number 1 module supplier in Middle East and Africa. We're number 2 module supplier in Europe, Middle East and Africa. And we're number 1 module supplier globally for bifacial modules. Canadian Solar operates 3 state-of-the-art research and development centers for modules and systems, both in Canada and China. We have 417 research engineers and technicians, and we hold over 1,500 patents with an investment of over $100 million in the last 3 years into R&D. We have strategic partnerships with EDF, Fraunhofer, University of Toronto, EMC, and many other research institutes. Our technology is the main driver in research and development. Canadian Solar is among the first PV module manufacturers to mass produce black silicone and introduce diamond wire soaring on our poly wafers. We introduced 5 bus bar and multi-bus bar, half cut or dual cells, the larger 66 millimeter wafers, and double glass for our bifacial modules. From a financial point of view, we are one of the most bankable solar companies worldwide. We're continually listed on the Bloomberg Tier 1 manufacturers list. Over the last 3 years, we have reached 100% bankability for our modules and our inverters, and we're constantly rated at the top of that Bloomberg list. Our products. We manufacture and market solar modules for all applications, including residential, small commercial, large commercial, utility scale, and off-grid. Our modules can typically be split into 3 different applications. We have residential. This is typically the smaller and better looking or black modules. They normally have a very nice appearance and offer good shadow management. For a commercial product, we're looking at a large format modules, both in poly and mono, and these offer a very strong BOS or lower balance of systems cost. And for our ground mounted projects, typically our investors are looking at LCOE or levelized cost of electricity. All of our stuff can be utilized on trackers. So an overview of our modules into 2021. I need to advise you that we are in the process of phasing out our standard HiKu modules. So our CS3K and our CS3U modules, we are looking to phase out. We're finalizing our last production batches in Q4 this year, and delivery will be slowly phased out during Q1 and Q2 next calendar year. So our entry-level product moving forward to next year will be our basic HiKu-L and HiKu-W. And we've just recently introduced our new product lines in our HiKu-5 and HiKu-6 that we'll come on to throughout the presentation. We already mentioned that we're number 1 globally in bifacial modules. We have a complete range of bifacial modules available in both poly and mono. These modules are available in framed and frameless, and are in the power classes on our standard by HiKu 405 to 425 and 435 in mono, and our new by HiKu-5 range ranges from 445 watts out to 480 watts as far as the mono technology is concerned. Our by HiKu-6 products will be going into production beginning of Q1 next year, and we're offering power classes up to 570 watts for bifacial. So our current product portfolio. HiKu-L. Our HiKu-L has been available since October last calendar year. correct myself, October 2018. Our HiKu is available in both poly and mono formats, and we're just introducing an all black, which will be available towards the end of this calendar year. Our basic poly product is in power classes at 340 watt, with our mono into 365 watt. These modules are built on a 166 millimeter cell. There's 60 cells in series, and we reach efficiencies of 19%. These are great for the small roofs, and as I already mentioned, we are just about to release this product in a full black. Moving up in size, from November this year, we're introducing our HiKu N. This is built around a 166 millimeter mono cell. It's 66 cells in series with an efficiency of 20.2%. Module footprint is 1.9 meters by just over 1 meter, with an average power class of 410 watts. We see this as a very high efficiency module and works great for any roof or any smaller project. Our HiKu was introduced in October 2018. This is our run rate 72 cell product currently available. In poly, we're reaching power classes of 420 watts, with the mono version running at 450 watts. Footprint of this panel is 2.1 meters by just over 1 meter. And in the mono version, we're reaching an efficiency of 20.3%. This, to recap, is a 166 millimeter cell. It's 72 cells in series, and is a very cost-effective all-round product with a very, very high efficiency. Our HiKu 5 in the Y or MS version. In the poly version, these are at 455 watts, mono reaching out to 490 watts. These are 166 millimeters cells, 78 cells in series, with an efficiency in the mono running up to 20.8%. These modules used a new paved interconnect technology, which I'll come on to very shortly. They're very high efficiency. They work extremely well on the larger roofs and on ground mount projects. Size of these, 2.2 meters by just over 1 meter. Our HiKu 5S. This is a 158 millimeter square mono cell. We've introduced this because we've had a lot of requirements for mono in a smaller size format with a smaller width. This is 78 cells in series with an efficiency of 20.4%. Footprint of this particular module is 2.1 meters by just under 1 meter. It's a very cost-effective mono product with a very high efficiency, and it's less than 1 meter wide, so it will fit with a lot of traditional mounting systems. Our HiKu 6W product, 72 cells in series, built around 182 millimeter mono cell, efficiency of running at 20.8%, and a module is typically in excess of 500 watts, with the power classes in the mono reaching up to 535 watts. This module also has a paved interconnect, has an extremely high efficiency, and works very well on the large roofs and ground mount projects. Moving on to our HiKu 6Y product. This again is a 182 millimeter mono cell, 78 cells in series, an efficiency of 20.9%, and this runs up to 580 watts. This product will be introduced from Q1 next year. It has a paved interconnect, again is very high efficiency and works extremely well on the ground or large rooftops. For those of you that are interested in our black technology, or all black modules, we have two ranges that we've just released. Our HiKu is built around our very popular CS3L in mono. This module has been available in its standard format since 2018, and we're introducing the all black version that will be available from December this year. Power classes are running out to 355 watts, running at 19.2%. It is a dual cell, and it's a replacement module to our traditional cool black product. We've also listened to our clients, and we've introduced a new shingled module with our HIDM 5 family. known as the CS1W. This is shingled, it's a high efficiency, it's running out to 370 watts and is a full black product. There are no bus bars on this product because of the shingling technology. So this is a really nice aesthetic black homogeneous panel. Available again from December this year. You've probably noticed throughout the presentation that a lot of our products are now growing in size. There seems to be an industry trend. So what I've done with this slide is I've put together our current portfolio, okay, and linked it to the new portfolio products so you can get some indication of the size. So on the left-hand side, you'll see our traditional 60-cell HiKu module. We then go into our L version, the CS3L, which was available from 2018, and then we start introducing our new products. So as you can see, the cells and the module sizes are growing. This meets the industry standard where everything seems to be moving down to the larger size. We very much see that the smaller modules, the CS3Ls and the CS3N versions are going to be very, very popular for our domestic environments, with the larger size modules more suited to commercial or ground mount solutions. All of our products are built around technology, and new technology is included within these new product lines. We've introduced infrared ray and leakage current tests to guard against hotspots. We've introduced low damage slicing to guard against microcracks. We've also introduced Canadian Solar Advanced regeneration on 100% of our cells, which guards against LETID. For our glass bifacial modules, we only supply our glass modules in bifacial. These have a better mechanical stability and a longer warranty with lower degradation. New technology includes heterotype ribbon for smaller cell gap and longer term reliability, and multiple bus bars for microcrack control. So typically outside of the research and development environment, people struggle to understand the terminology. I'm not going to go directly into each terminology at a really low level. I just want to give you an overview of what it means so you can communicate that to your customers. Firstly, we're talking about Canadian Solar's infrared ray sorting. What we do with 100% of our cells, we're checking that 100% of our cells are homogeneous. This gives us better reliability for reverse current. So if you recall, if you get partial shadow on a cell, you can get reverse current. Without infrared ray sorting, you can generate potentially hotspots and fall into the hotspot risk zone. With the introduction of infrared ray sorting, we very much stay within the safe zone because of the homogeneity of the cell. LETID, or light and elevated temperature induced degradation. Based on our comprehensive LETID mitigation technology, our products have a 50% lower degradation than industry standards. Having a lower degradation basically means that the product will generate more energy over its life cycle, thus giving more energy and a higher yield and a better LCOE. Proprietary technology to Canadian Solar is our HTR, or heterotype ribbon and pave technology. With traditional cell interconnect, the standard cell spacing to maintain insulation resistance would be in excess of 2 millimeters. With HTR and PA technology, we're able to reduce the cell interconnect gap to less than 0.7 of a millimeter, while still maintaining integrity, insulation cell resistance. HTR allows us to reduce our mechanical stress when reducing the cell gap, which in turn increases reliability and increases product efficiency. We've also introduced low damage slicing, so laser slicing across all of our production lines. Laser slicing is used to cut the cells to perform our dual cell. With traditional laser slicing, it's been noted under mechanical load tests that microcracks can become apparent. This has been greatly reduced by Canadian Solar's introduction of low damage slicing technology across all of our production lines. In respect of microcracks, Canadian Solar were one of the first manufacturers to introduce multiple bus bars, by 5 bus bars, and then indeed to the MBB technology that we see on all of our new products now. Just to refresh everybody's memory, microcracks are microscopic surface cracks within the cell structure of a module that is typically introduced due to bad installation, poor handling, or poor transport, or poor mounting solutions. What can happen over a period of time with wind shift and vibration, these cracks can grow and they can cause isolation within the cell surface area. A crack will typically grow much the same as a crack on a windscreen of a car or vehicle grows. That crack or a chip will start very, very small and over a period of time will extend. And that crack will extend until it meets a hard interconnect, in which it does in a multi-bus bar technology. So if you're unfortunate to suffer a microcrack due to bad installation, what tends to happen within the multi-bus bar technology is that crack will only grow up to the bus bar, the hard interconnect, which gives you longer term cell reliability and causes less damage to the cells in general. From a warranty point of view, our HiKu 5 and HiKu 6 are all warranted for 12 years for product and workmanship warranty. We have a 25-year power warranty with an average annual degradation no more than 0.55%. With our bifacial modules, our glass technology enables us to extend the performance warranty out to 30 years, with a degradation warranted to be no more than 0.45% over that 30 years. These also include a 12-year product warranty. To put those warranties into a graphical representation for you, with Canadian Solar modules, because we are offering enhanced warranty with lower degradation that's guaranteed, our modules can generate up to 23.2% more guaranteed lifetime energy within the life cycle of that product. This is very important as far as your investors or end users are concerned. From a module perspective, in summary, these are our modules moving forward into 2021. On the left-hand side, we have our traditional HiKu L and HiKu W. We've been the run rate and stable product of our business over the last 2 years. Moving into the HiKu N, Y, HiKu 5 and HiKu 6, these are the products that we see moving forward very, very much both in the domestic, commercial and free field site environment. Moving out onto the right-hand side there with our new HiKu back and our HIDM, which is reaching powers in excess of 365 to 370 watts. My final words before we open this up to questions and answers is this. The challenge for professionals is to choose the right products and systems and install them in ways that ensure a long and safe operation. All of our products have great warranties. All of our products are great for installation in domestic environments and in free field sites and on commercial rooftops. As an installer, you need to be proud of your work and install these products that offer these to be a long and safe operation. Our challenge as a technology supplier is to give you the best products and insist you in the realization of PV systems for your customers. We already heard that Solarity started out as an EPC and have now moved into distribution. There's the opportunity for all businesses to grow from small installers to big installers, and Canadian Solar will follow you every step of the way. We have a track record of 46 gigawatts installed in over 160 countries around the world. This is equivalent, as we mentioned earlier, to between 96 and 115 nuclear power stations. Know-how is the key to our success and your success. Once this pandemic ceases, Canadian Solar will start introducing our roadshows again and start delivering training directly to our customers in region, as we have done in the past with Solarity. And in closing, people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world, we're generally the ones that do. With that, I'd like to pass over to Stefan to host our Q&A.
Perfect. Thank you, Kieran. Let's start with our Q&A session here. I have a very nice one for the beginning. It says, can you please tell me why the CS3K 300P modules with non-multi-bus bar look inhomogeneous. They have spots like a cow.
Okay, okay. Without actually seeing that module, that's very hard to answer. I think the technology you were referring to was a product that we introduced a number of years ago, which was classified or called quasi-mono product. I believe the product you're mentioning was our first tranche into what we now call black silicon, which was where we made a poly melt. Sorry, we had a poly melt and we put a mono seed layer. That had the result of orientating the crystals in a uniform direction. But occasionally you had one crystal that didn't quite form correctly, which caused a white fleck within the product. This was specifically to do with the generation technology as far as the crystal growth was concerned. That was a product that we went back to the drawing board on and released the new version under our sort of P5 technology, or our black silicone product name. A lot of the customers in certain regions actually liked the look of those panels because they had a very dark uniformity as far as the cell structure was concerned, and it looked a bit like urban camouflage. The modules actually performed very, very well, but we did get comments that they looked a little odd, hence back to the drawing board.
Thank you for that. Another question raised during the webinar was if you could share some information about the weight. Now that we have these larger and bigger panels, that would be something of interest too.
Okay, each panel has its own data sheet, okay, and on those data sheets we include the weight for those products, so we would need to refer to each of those in turn. Obviously our glass modules, because we have double layer of glass rather than a single layer of glass and backsheet, okay, they are traditionally heavier as far as the bifacial products are concerned. The modules are growing in both size and weight, but please do check the data sheets for exact and accurate information.
And the next question also related to the size a little bit. Will you keep making modules smaller than 1.80 meters for small roofs?
Yes, indeed we will. Whilst we are phasing out our standard CS3K range and moving to a larger cell structure, the larger cell structure for our HiKu in L format is a 166 millimeter, and that module very firmly will continue and is intended to and works very, very well within the domestic environment.
Thank you for that. When it comes to a residential roof and a lot of snow, will these bigger panels work well with that amount of snow?
Yes, all of our modules are rated as far as wind and snow loads are concerned. I do need to encourage our installers to actually read and digest the installation manual. So the snow loads and wind loads would be up to test standards, providing that the modules are mounted in the correct manner and using the correct mounting zones of the product. So I'd encourage everybody to go and look at our website and download our installation manual and look at where those mounting zones are for the particular module that has been chosen.
Okay, so another one coming just in, that's an interesting one. Let's see, have you planned to develop hybrid systems? For example, combining solar modules with a maglev wind turbine and energy storage solutions. Can you say something about that?
I can tell you a little bit. It's stuff that we are looking at, and we're working with certain developers and EPCs around those type of technologies. From a Canadian solar standpoint, we are looking at battery and storage solutions. We're very much an integrated solar supplier. We don't typically get involved directly with other technologies such as wind or hydro, but we are working on projects to be able to realize that technology moving forward.
Oh, there's another one. I think that's a nice one for you. How has the adoption of bifacial module been on African countries, precisely in South Africa?
Limited. A lot of the South African installations today, due to sort of load shedding, have been rooftops. So with bifaciality, whilst bifaciality works within the rooftop environment, because of the substrate, it's very difficult to actually gauge what bifacial gain you will get within the rooftop environment. So typically you would be seeing, I would guess, around 5%, but that's very much based on the albedo effect of the substrate that you're installing on. We are beginning to see modules being installed in more free field sites, and we've realized a couple of projects just recently on free field sites. But again, the bifaciality aspect in Africa at this stage hasn't been adopted as quickly as it has in other countries around Europe, for example. But I think that's just generally an education and a lack of education, because people don't necessarily understand the technologies that are available at this stage. I think that will change moving into 2021, and when we're able to introduce more training, very much we'll be able to help the installers and EPCs to actually ascertain and model bifacial modules correctly for those type of installations.
So here, thank you, Kieran, for that one. Another one would be, I do 40 to 60 kilowatt roof for commercial jobs. Which panel of all of these should I ask my reseller for?
That's a good question.
Wait a second. I do 40 to 60 kilowatt roof for commercial jobs. Which panel of all of these should I ask my reseller for?
It's ultimately your choice. It really is ultimately your choice. The modules vary. I mean, you can have poly, you can have mono, you can have monofacial, you can have bifacial, you can have the smaller format, you can have the larger format. It really is your choice. All of our modules will perform in that specific environment. I guess ultimately it depends on your preference, it depends on your design and the size of the area that you look to cover with modules, because a smaller module may work better in some situations, whereas a higher performance mono module in a larger cell format may work better in others. So ultimately it really is your choice. It's a very hard question to answer directly, I'm afraid.
Okay, thank you. So I got two more questions. One would be, how do these modules perform with shading?
How do the modules perform with the shading? Okay, all of our technology is built around dual cell. Dual cell works very, very well inherently as far as shadow is concerned. The modules work as basically two modules in a single form factor. So if you have the modules in portrait and you get shadow across the bottom half of the module, the top half of the module will still be working at 100%. So that works very, very well as far as shadow is concerned. And that's that's a basic foundation of our dual cell technology. If you're looking at our shingle technology, our HIDM and our new products, we've changed the layout of the diodes to make them work much better as far as optimizers are concerned. And with string inverters, we've actually broken them down rather than into half panels, such as you would in the standard dual cell. The shingle technology works in thirds, so it works much, much better with DC optimizers and string inverters for shadow management.
Okay, thank you. So the last one I have here now, nothing news coming in. The last now here would be, how many people do you need to carry the new larger panels? You can see the size is something.
Yes, indeed. Yes, the industry has had a tendency to move to the larger cell formats as we've been discussing, and obviously with the larger cell formats, the modules are getting bigger and bigger as far as the footprint is concerned. From a manufacturer point of view, for our largest panels, we would always encourage handling to be done by two persons. But ultimately, you need to follow your local regulations as far as health and safety and guidance are concerned. And don't forget, if you are installing these in a particularly windy environment, then these things act as a massive sail. So you need to be very, very cautious when you're handling these, especially on a high building with a large frame format. So yeah, we would always encourage two persons for handling.
Okay, thank you. So that's it so far. I have no open questions yet. Last chance if anyone needs something. Otherwise, we would wrap this up. The last thing I have to say is then thank you in the name of Solarity and Canadian Solar. If you still have some questions or something we couldn't answer here or whatever, please reach out for marketing.emea at Canadian Solar or directly Kieran Moore at canadiansolar.com. And of course, if you have requests regarding availabilities and all these sort of things when it comes to our panels at Solarity, go to sales@solarity.com.ua or directly to Thomas Wernerson and he will help you with all you need. So thank you everyone for joining and have a great week and a great day. Bye.
Right, thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.